Well, hi. Welcome to my world. Come on in. I was just blowing bubbles all over my computer. For some reason, I can't get it to go. Oh, well, come on in. It goes great when I can blow harder, but I don't want to get it on my computer. My name is Colleen Liz Frost. Come on in. It's Wednesdays. It's what's happening. And what's happening tonight is you. And I want you to come on in. Welcome to my world. One day a week, we need to have a day for what's happening in our town socially. And for me, it's on my wall. And when you are a caretaker, we take care and we stay home. Homebound means we are bound to be home. And that means we wait for you to come knocking on our door. I am a coach. I was raised on the 7 days of balance. And if you are traveling on this internet, I hope that you rest here a while. Make these 7 days be your traveler's rest. Real people are rare people by Manzi John. Today, more than ever, I can find rare people on my YouTube and Facebook wall, and that is you. Today, I'm your coach, your head coach, and I am on a mission, celebrating history and creating more. And this is going to be something good, I promise. You know, being in a pre-launch and what it means to me at 57, I had two options after I wrote my book, If You Only Had 1 Year. I could either keep studying all these tools and how to do the YouTube and the Facebook page. And I was watching so many YouTube videos. I even had a coach that was helping me for months on explaining all this to me. And then I just decided to jump in and start and learn as I go. And this is why I say that I am in development. Right now, I'm working on my questionnaire for my podcast guest. I think I will format, and it will be something that you will all love, the format that I'm putting together. You know, I grew up with people like David Letterman and Johnny Carson, and then I moved on to my favorite person, Oprah. I didn't get a chance to watch much of any of them, but when they were on their final season, I did take time as I knew that they were avant-garde and I wanted to capture just the impact of their years. You know, I used to buy records, hundreds of them, as I was a DJ, and on my weekends off from work, I did spin a lot of these records. For a hobby, I would buy comic records, mostly like Steve Martin and, of course, George Carlin. I even got to meet Scott Hansen, our Minnesota very own comic, years later. As a matter of fact, he's on my wall. So today, as I listen to these YouTube videos and live streams, it's shocking. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. They're like rapid speed. They're just as fast as you can imagine. I mean, I even found the button where you can go 1, 2, and 3 times faster than what you speak. Now, I find this just absolutely hilarious because in high school, I took 4 years of speech therapy. Her name was Deanna Royce, and she was the most magical little person, next to my Kathleen Dorholt. But she diagnosed me as a clutterer, where I did not finish my words. And I ended up going to South Carolina on a Division I basketball scholarship. And that first year, very few people talked to me that were from there because they could not understand a word I said. And this is after 4 years of therapy. So today when I listen to these videos, I am finding that I can't even understand what they're saying. So I hope when you come to my Facebook page that you rest and that you can understand what I'm saying and that you're not feeling at all that you're bored, because this is a place to rest, and I'm calling it the Traveler's Rest. These videos sound like something I worked so hard to cure, and I'm hoping that as I set up my podcast, which takes time, and it takes time because I want them to be stored forever. So who's to say that in years to come that people are going to want these videos to go this fast? So I'm going to just go with that this is a cultural thing right now, and I'm going to bank that the people will want it to be like Mrs. Deanna Royce taught us, and that is to be as clear and have clarity in our speaking. Where people, places, and voices will be on my podcast from my past, my present, and my future, who helped me find purpose in this circus of life. I'm going to share some people on my wall. I won't name names as I don't know if that's proper because I chose them on purpose with my mother. You know, years ago, my son in third grade, the cell phone came out. That was called an iPhone. And of course, I got one right away for him and I. And being a happily divorced mother, I just thought it was important that he had a cell phone. And he wanted to take Spanish, and it was a very big debate in our school. We were going to school board meetings, one after the other, to save our paras and so forth. And when he saw the app for learning Spanish, he wanted to take French also. But he was trying to convince the superintendent that, you know, if we can get an app, why can't we save our Spanish? Why can't we have Spanish? And we were just getting nowhere. And I could see the writing on the wall. And when they cut my son's science teacher, Dave Pavla, I thought my son was going to pass out. Anyway, the technology started very young for my son. And however, he is very old school. He is still not on social media. And even when I was in the kitchen a lot and he was in our sun porch, we had a thing called Skype. So at a very young age, I would have him ring me up because we did not have a telephone. I would have him ring me up on Skype. And of course, he started to gather friends and we would do three-way calling and we would have visiting. So on my wall with my mother and my dad, as I was a caretaker, I chose to use my Facebook wall as a way to invite you all in and have a social time with my parents. And I cannot tell you how much you all have meant to my family. We obviously the last couple years with COVID, we had very limited guests. So here's kind of how it would go. And I'll just take you over there and show you how I would. Well, first of all, I had like 36 people when 5 years ago. So it was very, very interesting how my mother and I just found all of you. But we would just, like now I'm in a self-publishing school out of South Carolina with 2,700 new friends. And so we'd see their post and I would read to my mother. Well, actually, I wasn't in the school. My mother told me about this school. And every time I would see Chandler's post, though, she wanted me to talk about him. So that's why I know about Chandler. Anyway, I would go on, and here's a live video of this man, and he's playing the drums. And of course, I would crank the tunes, and she says, and he's from Minnesota. So this is really fun. And there is a videographer that videotapes these bands, and he's amazing. Now, here's a man from Wadena, Minnesota, and he is out there in rural Minnesota by Wadena, and he's watching a live burn. Now, here is my new friend from California, LA, through my school. And here's a woman. Now, she is very avant-garde. She's out there in LA right now doing a project in construction and a very interesting writer. And it just goes on and on. And here is my neighbor woman. And her quote for right now is, happy wife, happy life is destroying many marriages. It should be happy spouse, happy house, because a good marriage consists of two happy people. You know, think about that. Random quotes to inspire us. Now here is a benefit going on live. And then my girlfriend who lost her son, a veteran in the service. I learned so much from her, and she is definitely Club 33. I'm going to be interviewing her. Amazing woman. Here is a saxophone and trumpet player playing live. This is what I'm talking about on my wall tonight. And this man and his mother and my mother and dad, when they have the father and son or daughter and mother pictures of the elderly, it would just stop us dead in our tracks. And it just goes on. And I have a girlfriend that does dinnerscapes for her children. And I blow them up so large. And my parents would go through her home when she posts something, and we would zoom in. And then I have a teammate from college that runs a market, and you've never seen anything like it. Her meatloaf pictures yesterday, she must have had 150 ready to go packaged meatloafs that she does every single day. This is why I lose sleep. And then I found that my phone will tell me how many hours in a week I spend lurking on all of you. And I just thank God that I can keep up. And this is why I don't watch TV or watch the news, because look at the stimulation that you all give me. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Now, and this guy here and his mother, he gets to go inside the nursing home, and talks to her. Now he's talking to her. I will be watching this one later with my dad. He's amazing. So you wonder what inspires my dad? That guy and his mom. And I should talk to him, but see, I don't know how to be too social on here. I have to get better at this. And here's a guy from my dad's church. And the flowers. There's a florist from Wadena. He's amazing. And then there's my florist from Perm. You know, I blow her pictures up, just saying. So I don't see anything negative on here. Oh, God. There's a guy from New York. He's a country singer. And his story of recovery, he's like 29 years recovered from, I think it's alcohol. Okay, and here's my Yaya from New York Mills. She's a realtor. She goes to Mexico. She is moving a mountain. I'm going to be interviewing her. So this is, and then here's my cousin's daughter. She's an artist, and her paintings of animals. It's over. Okay, I'll come back. So I just want to say that rare people are real people. And my Facebook wall is probably the most vibrant thing for the homebound that and I'm going to go out and promote all of you. I'm building a map, and I'm going to be interviewing the people from my past, celebrating history and creating more. You all have been the best guests in our home these last 5 years. And I hope you know how much each post I catch has meant to my parents and myself. I blow up these pictures. I read your stories out loud. I don't try your recipes, but we sure do discuss them, full-on discussions. And you know what's so funny is my sister is not on the social media because she's, I don't know why she's not. I think it's because she doesn't know how to type, and now she's doing the texting, and I'm happy for her. But she has me hook up to all her classmates from 1973, which of course I worship every single one. I was her photographer at her class reunion, and you know, I think I cried in the parking lot before I went in because I worship these kids. And so anyway, I give her the her people's reports. And I mean, when one of them got cancer, I mean, I cried as hard as she did. And the one girl rescues animals, I mean, hundreds of them. And the other one was sick. And anyway, it's just, this is what I'm saying. You all are priceless, and you all are rare, and you've taught me so much. And I want to put you on my map so that my son knows that the people that have inspired me, and this is just in my little nucleus, I want to go out and celebrate you and inspire others to just keep celebrating history and creating more, and to take what's good about some of these tools. So I don't do your recipes though, because I'm after all this cooking I've been doing, I'm just overwhelmed by it. Anyway, the music, I just can't say how your social life is mine. And the best part, I think, is the music. Becoming a preservationist is my life's passion. And for those of us that are caretakers, we're not missing a beat. And those of us, I mean, we are homebound, and we are celebrating right along with all of you who are so engaged out there. Don't worry about us in here. We're fine because we have all of you. But I will be coming out soon, and I do have help that will allow me to. So it is going to be a system and a team. And when I am seeking a purpose for my life, it has been these type of interactions that have helped me carve out a new plan. And I have so much more to tell you. What do you love best about Facebook? And how about the YouTube? How does it impact your day? And being social is a skill. I see that. I want to engage and gather. I will be reaching out to most of you soon. So let's gather and celebrate history and create more. And on behalf of my family, thank you for sharing your history and all of your what's happenings with me on my wall. It has been endless hours of entertainment. And who needs that TV or news when I have you rare people who are real people to me? So go ahead and find your rocks, grab that ball, build a team, and look for a feather. Hope is all around. So jump, bounce, and fly with me 7 days on purpose. I teach it, I preach it, and I repeat it with a balance. Like, share, and remember, Wednesdays are for those who dare. Be avant-garde and be rare. Remember me, sincerely, your coach, Colleen, number 33.